Hello, my name is Dylan Tarter, and I'm here today to take you on a walkthrough of my case study, my portfolio for CashX. CashX was a project for my immersion course in the Career Foundry UX Design Bootcamp. Just a little bit about the project. Timeline took me from April to October of 2023. My role was as a UX designer, the sole UX designer. Tools used were Figma, Miro, Usability Hub, among others. My team was my mentors, Joao and Jordan, and my tutor, Gabriel. A little bit about the app. CashX is a fintech app that aims to help users simplify their financial lives by offering a kind of streamlined and all-in-one money management platform where you can send and receive money, split bills, buy, sell, trade cryptocurrency, among other things. So let's get into it. Defining the problem. So, initially we have to kind of determine what problem it is we're trying to design to solve. And in my findings, and even in just my day-to-day life, I've kind of come to find that a lot of people struggle with properly and easily managing their finances. And this can be for many reasons, but mainly I've come to find it's either due to lack of education or that the services that they're trying to use to manage their finances are spread out across multiple apps, and it just kind of makes things harder to keep track of. So CashX kind of aims to, again, simplify your finances, bring together all of the kind of different services and features you would want in your kind of typical money management apps, bring that all together in one place. So our hypothesis is that if we design a straightforward, intuitive application that can house all of a user's financial needs, we'll see increased user signups and engagement and continued use of the CashX platform, thereby improving users' finances in their day-to-day life and their financial well-being. Little bit about the CashX design process here. So we started with a discovery phase where we're trying to get to know our users, get to know our competitors, decide how exactly or what kind of exact features we want to include in our platform. And then it's on to a conception phase where we start mapping out the content of the app, mapping out the flows that a user would take to get through different processes within the app, and then on to actually designing wireframes to kind of determine what the app's going to look like and the feel of the app. Then on to a prototyping and testing phase where we will take those designs from the conception phase and really polish them, and then actually put them in front of some users to test the designs and see where we could improve them. And then on to, again, kind of polishing the designs and reviewing them, and then getting stakeholder approval and handoff to a development team. So into the discovery phase. We started with a competitive analysis conducted of what I would consider to be 3 of the main competitors in the space that CashX is trying to break into. And those would be PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Kind of your big 3 in the fintech space, if you will. So the competitive analysis kind of involved some deep dives into their UX and marketing strategies to determine what they're doing well and where they leave some opportunities open. We also conducted a SWOT analysis to, again, kind of decide what we liked they were doing or what we thought they could improve on. So after the competitive analysis, the three main takeaways were that there are a lot of things that our competitors are doing right. And we want to take those features and inject them into our own platform, while also addressing the gaps that they have left in the market. We also want to eliminate the need for users to have several different apps on their devices by providing an all-in-one platform. And we've decided that we really need to somehow set CashX apart from those bigger, more popular competitors by providing a service or a feature that no one else in that field offers currently. Then we moved on to some user research to try to understand who our users were, what they liked, what their pain points were with current apps that they used in this industry. So kind of combining some quantitative and qualitative data from surveys and user interviews, we were able to develop a pretty complete understanding of our users' specific needs and preferences. And this was very helpful in addressing real-life issues that users are facing with their current services. Then we developed some research goals. And those goals were to understand the pain points and challenges that our users face when shopping online or transferring money in their daily lives. We also want to identify key features and functionalities that users expect from an app like CashX to make sure that we include them in our designs. And we need to understand how users perceive similar apps. Their expectations, their fears, their biases, things like that. After the user research phase, I put together some affinity maps, and this was helpful to try to break up the insights gained from user research into a few different categories. One being security concerns, another being overall user experience, the desired functionality of similar apps, and frustrations with our competitors' current offerings. Here you can kind of see different users I interviewed and some quotes and insights from those interviews. And then I sorted out their quotes and insights into those 4 different categories. So after affinity mapping, we were able to determine some of what our users really wanted and desired in CashX. First and foremost being that security is paramount. You have to have some trust in an app when you are sharing your financial data and letting it kind of manage your money. Users also want simple, straightforward, intuitive UI, nothing over the top or too flashy, overly complicated. We want to keep it simple. A third takeaway from this, and again, this goes back to offering something that none of our competitors currently offer, was a bill splitting feature. Currently in the fintech space, there are little to no apps that offer a way to split bills amongst a group of people. So we thought this would be a good way to really set ourselves apart. And a fourth takeaway is crypto and foreign currency integration. Users expressed interest in the integration of cryptocurrency. It's only gaining popularity, and also for foreign currency features for users that travel abroad that could really help simplifying money management when overseas. Then we moved on to the conception phase. We developed some user personas to kind of enhance the understanding of our users and give them a personality and like a face and a name. These personas helped illuminate a lot of our target audience's needs and behaviors and help facilitate a personalized app for those users. We also were able to foster alignment amongst design and development team. Then we moved on to creating some user journey maps. These were crafted to help gain insights into how our users felt when interacting with apps similar or what they would want from our app. These maps help provide a visual representation of users' interaction with the apps. Again, helping us understand where they struggle with similar apps and uncovering some opportunities for improvement. We then developed some user flows to kind of help us understand how we would need to design the layout of the app, how to get from point A to end point and trying to complete different tasks within the CashX app. After that, we moved on to some information architecture and site mapping to kind of develop an overall structure of the CashX app. And after that, after the kind of site map was laid out, we moved on to low fidelity wireframing to help kind of define the overall look and feel, like the basic building blocks of the look and feel of how CashX will function in its completion. Then we kind of polished those hand-drawn lo-fi wireframes and moved them into some digitized mid-fidelity wireframes to kind of help breathe a little bit of life into them and really flesh out the overall look and feel of CashX. And finally, on to the prototyping and testing phase. So we started the prototyping and testing phase with some usability tests of our mid-fidelity prototype that we had developed. We started these sessions with a brief introduction, kind of asking about their previous experience with similar apps. I then shared the Figma prototype with the testers and asked them to complete specific tasks while thinking out loud, vocalizing their thoughts, and offering any sort of real-time suggestions and feedback on things they thought we might be able to improve. After the usability tests, I was able to put together this rainbow spreadsheet to kind of help synthesize all of that data from the tests. After the tests, we decided there was certainly room for improvement, and we took some main takeaways from those tests. Those takeaways being that a lot of what was leading to user confusion within the mid-fidelity prototype was simply just the wording and phrasing within the app. Another takeaway from the usability tests were that a few more screens needed to be added here and there throughout the design. For example, we needed to add a success screen at the end of the process of sending money to another user, just to show that the transaction had indeed been processed and was successful. A third enhancement was within the XSplit feature. Users encountered some confusion when trying to scan a receipt because they weren't presented with a price breakdown for each individual item. So to address this, we just wanted to go back and include a price breakdown for each individual item on a receipt. Then it was on to making high fidelity wireframes and prototyping it. We did this to really breathe some real life into the design, kind of give it some personality. This helped provide a real representation of what the user interface will ultimately look like in the end, and was an essential step in fine-tuning our app. Here's a link to the Figma prototype.